Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Autocrat Primer, where we love us somewhat, pretty much anything and everything now. I mean, we're big Transformers fans, and we both like, Nikki and I both like, a lot of different things. But today I have a special guest, Final Harps. He is here. We are going to be discussing with him in this interview. Before we get started, I want to let you know that we are doing a giveaway when we get to 200 subscribers. As soon as we get there, we do have a giveaway that we will be doing. Also, we have our new book coming out, which will be debuting in May. I was supposed to be at a free comic book shop that day, but that's all been because of COVID, knocked out of the park. But it is what it is. But the book will be still dropping and still going. It will be available on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and the whole enchilada. So, how are you doing tonight?
I am exhausted, but I am doing great at the same point.
Cool. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself, since we'll see. And I'll keep up with the comments just in case, and that's the other thing too. I want to make sure I said this too. This is actually going to be on a podcast for tomorrow, which is Autocrat Primer's podcast. So anyone that comes into the chat, if you ask to come in, that's not going to happen because it's just a one-on-one conversation between us. So I just want to make sure I put that out there so nobody's feelings get hurt. So,
okay. So my name is Final Harps. I started gaming. Well, actually, no. I'll start from here. I've been gaming since I was a kid, like 4 years old. So gaming is like second nature. I started content creation because my buddy has been doing it for a living now. Mm-hmm. He started about 6 years ago now. I was like, you know what? I want to try it out. He started showing me the ropes, and now in June will be a year. And I was doing gaming live and then making YouTube videos. And I love doing it. I love editing videos. I've learned a lot through this. I've met a lot of people like you, and just a whole bunch of other people. And it's so crazy, like the process of going through this.
We're going now. We're live.
Yeah, we're live. Just give me a second. For some reason, audio.
We're live again.
Uh-oh. We're having issues.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Now we're back. Oh, shit. That was my fault. I hit a damn button. I was moving the screen. And anybody who knows me, y'all know I'm not computer savvy whatsoever, so there will always be technical difficulties. That's why I have my lovely wife over here in the corner who is like, okay, I'm here. Calm down. We got it going. What was the first game that got you? Since you say 4 years old, what was the first game that got you hooked as a gamer?
I think it was Super Mario Brothers. Like really? With Duck Hunt.
Oh yeah,
Super Mario Brothers Duck Hunt. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome. I remember that. That was the one video game my grandfather would play with me.
Really?
Yeah. I remember when he actually was the one that got the Nintendo for us, and that was a game that he got, and he was like, just so because he loved to hunt, so he was like doing it with the game with us there. Yeah, man, I forgot about Duck Hunt. Man, that was a long time.
That came with the Nintendo at that time, and came with the gun.
Wow.
I played that film.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was a good old time back then.
Did you ever play the Atari?
No, I did not. Nintendo was my earliest system.
Okay. So from there, and Duck Hunt, and with Nintendo, did you then fall in the line with Zelda and the Mario and stuff like that? Or did you...
I don't have any Zelda stuff over here. But...
I have my
stuff. Anyway, Zelda. Yes. Oh, yeah. Zelda. I love the original Zelda. Zelda 2 I thought was interesting. But with Zelda, oh my God, yes. I'm a big Zelda fan.
And what I loved about that game is that if anyone said, yeah, I like Zelda. Oh, really? Well, who's that? Well, that's the little guy in the green suit with the shield, and he's got the... No, that's not Zelda. No. You poser. Hell no. Get out of here.
I know, right? Like you see those memes, and it's just like...
Yeah.
Right?
You're like...
Like, do you know anything? No.
Oh, man. My sister is actually a bigger gamer than I am. She's been begging me for a long time to do stuff on Twitch. Now, you do stuff on Twitch also?
I do Twitch. I make YouTube videos. I do TikToks, and those are my main platforms that I create content for.
Yeah. Yes. And I do have those links down at the bottom. I want to make sure I put that out there. I did go ahead and do that. Thank you, baby girl, for reminding me. So with Zelda and with your friends, were you, because for me, I'm a country boy. So for video games was not something that we had around us, but my brothers and I loved it. Our youngest sister, she loved it. And it was something that us going to the arcade. I actually remember going to the arcade, having a fucking bucket full of change.
Yep.
And going in. And do you remember the arcades? I mean, you see, what's the Stranger Things have it, and it was like, what is that?
The arcade I went to was called Hollywood Park, and I would go there to play one particular game, and that game was called Marvel vs. Capcom.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I fell in love with that. Anyone who would face me when I was there just couldn't win. It just was. That's how much I loved it. I was that good at it.
Yeah, oh my God, that was awesome. And then when you had Mortal Kombat came out, that was like something just blew our minds because.
And that's what brought the rating system for everything was because of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a brutal uppercut. Yeah. Yes.
But it was.
Wait, I got one more. Whoopsie.
Yeah. I missed it.
Whoopsie.
Oh no.
Mortal Kombat, come on.
My brain.
I'm going with 2 hours of sleep, man.
Oh my God. That's right. You have. I can't have. Hey, and here's something too, guys. As I was doing this, I couldn't go to sleep last night, so I was up all night, and then I was in my room doing my artwork, and Nikki comes in there, and I'm like passed out on my artboard, just out. And Nikki was like, "You've got that the live stream of the podcast that you got to do." I was like, "What? Where am I?" I thought it was like, I thought it was Monday, and Nikki's like, "No."
Damn, Monday.
I know. She says, "Man, you slept hard." And I messed up this whole artwork I had because if anyone knows what Indian ink is.
Oh God, yeah. Any sort of like not in just any sort of like thing you put on paper, and if your oils get on it, it messes it up.
Absolutely. And I was like, fudge, man, I just ruined this whole thing, my slubber. But so yeah, you got the Mortal Kombat. You got I also remember Rampage. That was one of the games I loved, and with the gorilla, the dinosaur, the dinosaur lizard man looking thing, and the werewolf.
I think I played it, but it was like one of those where I just played for a short period of time. I don't remember it in particular. I remember it, but I don't remember in particular. It was like a 2D side scroller,
yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you talk about Capcom, when it came out and that dropped ours place was called Take 10. And here's something that's funny. Nikki and I don't live that far away from each other.
Or neither when we were growing up.
Yeah, and when we grew up, we never saw each other, met each other, but we had the same friends. I would go to Take 10, and when I would leave to go work at the movie theaters, usually when her brother and her would show up at Take 10 and be playing, and we always missed each other. And so we got together. She was like, "Well, you love games. Did you ever go to Take 10?" I said, "Hell yeah, I went to Take 10 all the time with my bucket of quarters. That was where my check was going. It's comic books and video games." What was it that also stood out to you? Because a lot of times, when you're there, that there's just something, especially right now with us not having social distancing and stuff like this, and we're not able to get out in the community like we do. Do you think that a lot of this generation is missing that camaraderie that we used to have when you go to an arcade?
The only thing that would be missing out, okay, how I look at it is technology has brought us away from everyone now, but the thing is, it's giving more people time to actually do stuff when they're at home. So instead of me getting up, getting ready to go out, to go to the arcade, yeah, you missed that whole aspect of learning in life, but you get to do all the stuff at the comfort of your own home. So you miss out on some experiences, but you actually develop and gain more time to be able to do these kind of things because you're able to not have to leave the house. Now, it's interesting because now you don't leave the house. You don't see the crazy things that happen on the way, or so you're riding your bike, you fall down, hurt your knee, like stuff like that doesn't happen. That's the only thing that's really different in the scenario from us to new age. And you don't have to pay for it as much. Like, you know, go there, pay $20 and then do that. Oh, I'm out of money. Now I got to go home. Like, yeah.
or you die so much that you run out of quarters.
Yes,
You
I
know.
know that one.
Oh God.
Yep.
Especially when Mortal Kombat, man. I was that was mine. I loved it. When all of us, I'm a big horror fan. I'm a big horror guy. I worked in zombie movies and for Romero and everything. So horror is like my big background of who I am. And Mortal Kombat was like you said, it's what brought in the rating system.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we could thank Al Gore for that. I remember his wife; that was her campaign, was for video games and for CDs and music and stuff.
Yep.
I'm having technical difficulties.
Oh, you
I
are?
can't hear. These are on and connected, but I turn up the screen here
Mhm.
and I turn it on the computer. I'm not hearing anything.
Okay, Nikki wants to make sure. Hey, Solomon, I see you're out there. You are.
I can hear the stream.
Okay.
I can hear the
Yeah,
stream.
he can hear the stream
Okay.
because I can only hear what StreamYard is giving me.
Right.
I got you. No,
Yeah.
I was able to hear the stream. That's how I check. I have another. Whenever I'm live streaming, I have another device on with the actual stream to do sound tests and stuff.
Okay, because this is going into a not a video file, but a voice file. MP3, I think, is what's going to be in. But
Okay.
yeah, MP4. That's right. But back to this. But I look at right now. I've never done Twitch or any of those other.
Okay.
I've been watching. I've watched. I've watched yours. I've watched Solomon's. That's something that I've never done before, was actually watch people play video games. I mean, I played it. My sister tried to convince me to do it, but I used to be very, very busy. Now I'm not as busy as I used to be. How is that? I mean, I get to see with this and being able to do it live and people come in. Do you see a lot of people coming in and
with live streaming is very interesting. With my personal experience with live streaming, I love doing it. I love live streaming. I love meeting new people and people coming in, hanging out, talking, BSing with me. But I found out that live streaming and trying to grow on there is extremely hard. Like, you can't just press the play button and expect people to show up. And a lot of people who just start streaming expect that, and that's not how it works. You got to do a lot of other stuff to get known, like what Solmus does.
Okay.
And he's one of my good buddies, Solmus44. He's in the chat right now.
Yeah.
And he is great at networking with people on Moot and through Discord. I am not that good at that for some reason. But my fields I excel at is making YouTube content and doing TikToks. So I'm really good at responding to everyone who comments to me on YouTube. I'll get like 5 or 6 comments an hour on YouTube, and then I'll get like sometimes 100 notifications an hour or 1,000 on TikTok. And that's just from likes, follows, comments, and duets where people add at me or personal messages. But then when it comes to like everything else, it's hard to keep up with. And I'm saying all this because I never done any of this social networking until I started doing live streaming. And I've met so many cool people. And now, since I do that, like, for example, you'll pop in my stream, say, hey, what's up, with the like few minutes you got, and then maybe peace out or hang out for a while. And that's because I develop a connection with you.
Right.
And with live streaming, I love that connection. I love talking to people who I meet, hang out with, and get to know.
Well, for me, one of the things, and I did have an older channel on YouTube that wasn't with gaming. It was dealing more with my business, stuff like that, that I did. You did the YouTube that was talking about how much information you put out there, people could get. They can, I was trying to remember the name of it. That was a very informative. And I've got the link also for that, guys. So you need to check out that. It goes into detail about TikTok, about YouTube, what you put out there, when you put it out there, it's out there forever.
Yeah.
And I had a group of trolls, and that harassed us constantly, and to the point where even my family is still in awe. They're in shock over the fact that I actually got back on social media. It was the Transformer community and a great bunch of guys that I got to hang out with that that convinced me to come back onto these types of platforms, because I walked away from it completely. And because for us, ours got involved with the FBI, and it got crazy.
Okay, that got pretty deep.
Yeah. It was a nightmare. It was a nightmare. And if I did a live stream and the people knew I was doing a live stream, I would have police show up at my door.
Or you would get swatted?
Oh yeah. I had that happen twice.
Do you have any footage of that? Because that would be great YouTube footage. Use that. People love watching that.
Holy
but with that even being said, that's absolutely correct. Like, I was having a conversation with my mother-in-law earlier. We do Halloween and we do something special and we go somewhere to do it. And she was like, why don't you dress up as your OCs? And I was like, as much as I would love to do that, I don't want everyone who shows up here know that we live here. If they recognize me on the street, that's okay. If we go to like some place nearby, someone recognizes us, okay. Yeah, our information is out there, but I kind of just don't want to like open the door for everyone easily. Like, it's still out there, still easy to be found. But going to that video, I was basically saying that like anytime you apply or put your information into any sort of social media, like Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, your information is there permanently, even if you remove your profile, because it's in the cloud and deleted. Like how the FBI can recover if you deleted a save file on your computer, if you don't delete it properly, which you need to like reformat your hard drive like 5 or 6 times, and even then they still could possibly retrieve it. I don't know the correct format of how to do that. That's kind of what I heard from hearsay. But with the internet, once you put something out on the internet, you can't delete it because it's pinging off all over places. Like, they can piece it together. That's what hackers do.
Oh yeah, and they get hold of your IP address and they can pretty much find you instantly. And YouTube actually got involved in the case that we were in, and a lot of things that you're now seeing that has been implemented by YouTube. You can thank me and some other people that happened to, that YouTube finally got dragged into it because bigger YouTubers was this group of people were doing this to a certain. It wasn't for gaming; it was for a whole nother.
Was this around the time where a lot of YouTubers were getting hacked?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and it was a living nightmare. From having your identity stolen, people open up accounts and stuff like that. It was a living nightmare, nightmare. And so I walked away from all of it, and it became, for us, it became a very nightmare. So I didn't do a lot of social media pushes when I came back. And it's interesting, one of those actual trolls has shown back up on this channel.
Okay.
And that was one of the reasons why I kind of backed off from doing live streams again. But then I was like, you know what? If I keep going back and hiding, then they win.
Exactly. There's one person that I found on TikTok. His name's Gary V. He's very well known. He's a major influencer of like having people like being positive and doing stuff and not letting things hold you back and not letting others hold you back. One of his main things is like trolls are haters. If you're going to have a troll, flow with it, go with them. If they're being hatred towards you on stream and they're saying derogatory words and it's not allowed in the chat, you just ban them. Now, if they're just trying to mess with you and you could twist it, like there's certain words you can actually twist and be like, oh yeah, and I find that I'm very happy. I don't know if you're allowing that particular word on stream, but you get where I'm going.
Yeah, I got you.
And Other one, oh yeah, I do smoke cigarettes, or I used to, but you've got to like flow with that. I've had a couple on Twitch, but very few. And I'm kind of surprised. I'm wondering when I'm going to get my true hater, but I haven't had one yet. But you know you're doing good when you got haters. That's really what it is, because they're jealous and they have all this hatred inside of them, and they have nowhere else to put it besides they see success in someone else and rather put on someone else.
And with that, you know, and like you said, I want to go back to the fact that you do dress up for your TikToks, and you don't want to wear that when you go out. But do y'all do any other type of cosplay or any other type of characters?
No, actually, she's got 2 more that she has for TikTok. Me, do you want me to start like how TikTok started for us? Let me explain all that.
Oh yeah.
I started TikTok because I wanted to find another way of growing because Twitter wasn't working for me. I like Moot, but it's my age is way above the average person that's on there. And I just wasn't connecting. Twitter, I put a tweet out randomly, and I don't know how I gain followers from time to time, but I do. But I don't care for it. It's not my cup of tea. Mm-hmm. I saw TikTok. I hated it at first, but then I realized the discover capability on it is insane. You could post a video, and overnight, it can get 1 million views. Like that, the last video where we're holding the laptop and it has Gandalf is like,
I'm bobbing his head.
Yeah, that in 10 hours has 16,000 views.
Wow.
And not a ton of likes, but it had a ton of views, which means it doesn't matter the fact that like 16,000 separate people, because it doesn't go by like how YouTube where someone rewatches. That's separate people watching it.
Oh shoot. Okay.
So that discoverability is huge. So I wanted to try it out. I couldn't figure it out. The mastermind of all these ideas is my wife, Blood Vixen. She comes up with all these cool ideas that you'll see. And when I'm there, I make the extra. I'd be like, hey, what about this camera angle? What about this? I'm the tech guy. Like, I'm the one with the lights. I mean, I'm the one with the camera angles. I do all the extra fine tuning. If something needs to be edited, I do it in post editing in Adobe. But she's the one with the main ideas. She has the main direction, but we work together on it, and it works great. So we started doing that, and ironically, I started seeing growth. She's at like 30K followers now or something, and she wanted to run a contest, and I'm like, that's a perfect idea. So we ran a contest. People gave us entries, and we put it on YouTube.
I saw
that. The only problems with this one is that the copyright music, but I figured out a way around that to be able to still hold a contest. All you have to do is just no copyrighted music, and use scenes from a TV show or a movie.
Okay.
But if you're acting it out, and it's just that in the background, you can still do it because it's not the actual image. It's
a parody.
It's a very weird limbo law with copyrights and stuff. And yes, it's a parody. Mm-hmm. So that's what the next contest is going to be. But when we did this contest, we wanted to see people be creative, be new, reimagine themselves, because most of the people are like all in their face, like which is cool.
It's like what I'm doing now.
like when people are just like doing little dances like this all the time, you get tired of seeing it, even though it does take skill to do that. It really does. And we wanted people to do full body, and the artwork we got from that and talent was insane. Like we were impressed by most of the entries we got. We had a lot, and we had to kick out a few, but it wasn't many. It was just all were so good.
Well, sorry, go ahead. Apologize.
Now I'm coming back into a full circle now, how we met all those people. We figured out a way to have them get engaged into YouTube, bring them to my YouTube, and be like, oh, he actually makes TikTok content too on YouTube. Let's press sub and watch his stuff. And bring people back to my Twitch. And yeah, it kind of worked out in a full circle, and it worked great. And we loved it. The winner got everything, got what they got. It just I want to do another one. We're doing another one, but
Nice.
it's just I'm trying to finalize the rules so when we get entries, I don't have to really say, hey, this was in here and you can't have that. But
well, I mean, I just now started doing TikTok, and it's really because of me starting to watch a lot of y'all out there doing it, and I was like, well, I have nothing else to do. I'm stuck at the house like everybody else. I said, but it is a lot of fun, and it for me, it's making me sit there and say, okay, you know what? If I'm going to do this, I need to break out my cameras, my lighting. You got awesome lighting. Oh, I love your halo. You finally got that. That's like the greatest lighting source, and bright.
Oh, you got the circle one.
Yeah,
those are cute. I like those things.
The two lights I got are actually Danzine D50s. They actually sync them together, and they're $150. Then we got a $30 ring light, and then we use the normal light bulb overhead, and we can get some really cool effects on it. You'll see in some of our new videos we try to dim lights and do a different light change, and it actually turned out really cool.
Yeah. I've been enjoying it, and see the one thing also that you can't see in the podcast, but you go check out Final Harps on TikTok. Y'all get into makeup and get into the outfits, and that's got to take time.
I don't know how to do my makeup. That's all her. She does that, and she gets pissed off at me every time when we do makeup. She's like, "Can't you do it yourself?" I'm like, "No." And I start doing it myself one day. She's like, "You're not trying." I'm like, I threw the makeup on the counter, and I walked away.
Nikki just said, "That sounds like you, honey." She says, "Wow, that's actually you." I'm like, "Yeah."
OC was her idea, like the look and stuff. She had an idea, general idea, but then I came in and said, "How about this? A little bit of this," and that's what it came to be.
And I'll be honest, I do have background in as being an art director for a lot of projects. What I see y'all do is what we would do where we had a 6-week prep time. How do you prep up and your stories, your stuff? How does that?
All right. I usually work 6 days a week, but I lucked out and got some PTO, and I'm utilizing it. Okay. So when I'm at work, she looks at TikToks and just has ideas, and then she tries to you look at you when you watch TikTok, you hear a sound, you see what they're doing, and I'm like, I like what they're doing, but what if I do this, and then do this, do that, do this, do that? And that's what she does. She will literally sit there all day trying to figure out what to do, what she can do, what we can't do. And with how long the things are going for lately, we need more days to do TikToks to catch up to how many sounds we have. She has a backlog of sounds that we have. Last night was just a goof off session, as you probably saw. We were having a great time though. But with the ideas, she thinks of the ideas. After the room is all set up, we're about to shoot, she tells me the ideas. And I sit there, I think about right there on the spot. I'm like, why don't we throw this in here? Why don't we do this? How about this angle instead of this so you can see this? Like there's one where she wanted to punch me, but she also wanted to see the reaction of her face. And the original position she had, you couldn't really see my face. You couldn't really see her face. And I said, no, how about this angle? She's like, that's not going to work for me. I'm like, try it. Oh, because at this point in the sound, luckily it was the end of the sound. When you try to do cuts in a video, we do it on 2 phones. So,
okay.
And we record at the exact same time. So that's why you'll see my profile and her profile with the same stuff, but it's 2 different phones. So it's technically 2 different angles, 2 different views. But when you go and press to do cuts in it, if you mess up pressing both at the same time, you have to align that cut. And it's not like you could pick with pressing that and a number. You have to actually click and drag it and line it up perfectly and have the other one line up in between the lines of the sound bars. or are right on top. It's such a pain in the ass, but when we don't have to do any of those, things go by faster. But she's been wanting to add those because they add a lot of cool effects to it. Like this one in particular, like we're sitting down playing cards, and then she throws the cards, and we use the fast forward effect. So it's 0.3, but when you play it forward, we're slowed down. So it's like, wow, we're just like this, but it's slowed down on the camera. Then the next one is, I forgot what the next one is, but there's another one where I use her as a puppeteer.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last one is she punches me because she's tired of me playing her as a fool. And we had to figure out the angles, and that's where my job comes into play. I figure out like the angles, the tech, the lighting, while she's doing all the direction, but I come in and I'll think of ideas as we're shooting. Like I have no time to prep of ideas. She'll start talking about an idea, and I'm like, stop. I'm not going to remember this. Sorry, but that's just like my brain doesn't work that way. Like I can't just like have you tell me something and me think about it and like go for it from what you're saying and have me remember. Tell me when we're at the spot and I will work from it. And sometimes like it's a snap really fast. There's other times where there's a little quirk, so I'll act differently because I'm really I'll act like either happy instead of when I'm supposed to act a little like frustrated or some shit like that. But then when it's fixed, it's like, oh wow, that turned out good. Like it is.
I mean, because I don't have the background in photography and videos. Nikki does, and I'm trying to get her to jump on. She's been like, but my plate's so full of everything else. But I see a lot of people on TikTok and see how that goes. And I'm really amazed because, I mean, the quality and the timing and the direction, I mean, this is A grade. This is stuff that you would see in a studio, you know, and I'm amazed by it. Especially a lot of other TikTok. I didn't have an idea about TikTok, never paid any attention. My nieces were all about it. And they knew I had the autocorrect primer, and so they're the ones. My niece actually is the one that set up my thing in my phone for TikTok, because she's like, my uncle's completely illiterate when it comes to anything technology. So I'll just tell him what to do, hit the button and go.
Sounds like my friend that I call a Luddite. I don't know how to use that stuff. Like,
now, like you said, you have all these sounds and all this stuff, and it's not just a point click. Now, how does this also bleed into the gaming aspect?
Okay. As I was coming to a realization since I've been off work, is I originally started my content creation as a gamer. I wanted to play games, have people come, be entertained, and have a good time. Because I'm a talkative mofo. Once you start talking to me, I don't stop. And I've found out and realized that, wow, it's actually really hard not to keep people's attention, but just to get people to come into your stream, just to get those viewerships up. And I just kept doing what I was doing. I got injured last year, late summer or early summer. I sprained my ankle and I couldn't do my job. So I was at home for 2 months. And that's when Code Vein dropped.
Okay.
So I decided, I'm like, okay, I got the time. I'm going to write boss guides for every boss. I did that. It took a lot of time, a lot of effort, me figuring out how I'm going to explain this and how I'm going to get the words out properly where I'm not stuttering, saying or that, or you do this. Like, it took time, and I'm happy with what I made. I stopped after a certain point because I kind of started going through creator depression because I noticed I put all this time and effort into YouTube videos and no one's watching them. But then I realized, well, one, this game is really niche. My very first boss guy somehow still gets like 1,000 views a month from Borderlands 3. And I'm like, I only wrote one. So, but you only needed that one because that's the only one that everyone asks about. Like, they're like, man, this is the only boss I'm having problems with the first time I got here. And I had a problem. That's why I wrote one. It was whatever. out on a limb, right?
Right.
I loved it. I loved because I love helping people. I love talking to people. I love like giving advice to people. But when I got to Code Vein, it didn't work. So going to TikTok and then trying to bring it from games, it's like mixing oil and water right now. I got this OC content and then I got this gaming content, and I'm trying to meld them. I haven't fully figured out exactly how to do it. But getting back to what I was going to say, coming to reality with, is I started like, okay, there is nothing. I want to look for something for TikTok, and I'm like, this guy's talking about this for 15 minutes, doesn't even explain to you what you're looking for. You get no answers from it, and you're waiting because it's something you really want to know. You need to know to learn, but there's no answer in his like video, and it's just like,
yeah,
how does this have thousands of views? So I'm like, that's when I stepped in. I started making guides. Like the first one I made is for TikTok was how to avoid breaking the community guidelines / terms of service of TikTok so your videos don't get pulled. Long ass title. That's not even the actual title, but that's at 12K views now or something like that. And I posted that only a few months ago. And I'm like, okay. And I noticed immediately when I posted, it started getting click after click after click. I'm like, and I'm getting subs very slowly. All right, screw it. Let's make another one. I forgot what the second one is, but then I just kept making more and more and more. And I'm like, I love making TikToks and I love making YouTube videos. I might as well as just keep doing this. But trying to mix the gaming and that together is where I like it's really falling short in my opinion, because I will advertise on TikTok that I'm going live on Twitch, and TikTok has this auto algorithm where it won't push out something if you have a link in anywhere on video. So if I put out a video and I put in the caption or like the text on the screen saying I'm live, the algorithm picks that up and doesn't want to push it out that much.
Well, and the other thing with your videos that I was looking at that's been a big help to me is that yours is informative. I mean, it's really simplified, and I like that. I need it more simplified, and
right,
you know, and you're like the last one where you're talking about how to do the editing and how to use the new stuff for TikTok, and I'm completely new to TikTok, and I actually was able to do a video how you described it. I was like, well, shit, man, this is extremely informative. I think I think that's more where a platform that I think you're very strong at, and it if it helps out a country boy like me, about anybody. But that's something too that Nikki and I have been talking about. See, we're more comic book, graphic novel artists, and we have our own characters, and we have the characters that are based off of us loosely, which is the Aaron Adventures. And we talked about this, about maybe going back and redoing the comic strips that we do, but then put them on TikTok as the comic strip.
Okay. You can do that. You can do that. And I was actually going to suggest that to you because you talk about art, comics, and stuff. And then you could actually simply make like a minute long like storyboard, like comic, where it like flashes through pages that you've made and say part 1. So it stays on a page for like, say, if you read it and you read like half the speed that you would normally read, but make it like fast enough to where you can still like it's fast but not too slow, find that right timing, and put that many pages in for a minute worth, and finish up a whole comic book in one. You don't have to post it in one go. You could post it like once per day, so you're not like throwing stuff out right there, but you have something where like, oh man, when's the next one coming? And it was to bring people there, because now you have people seeing you, noticing you, and you can bring them. If you make your TikTok account pro, you might notice I have a link underneath my name.
Yes, yeah.
I actually have a guide on there how to make your TikTok account pro and why. When you make the link, it actually, when you're pro, you can make that link and you can use that link like from linked tree. It's like link TR and it lets you put like all your links in there in any order you want. So it's one click to everything. Like if you click on mine right now, you'll see like the OC contest, Twitter, PayPal, YouTube, Twitch, like everything's on there. Moot, TikTok, and it's one click. And people are like, oh, this is simple. Even though it's not just like one click straight there, like how it is on your profile on the top bar, where it has like you can have Instagram and YouTube there. It actually it works great because like if you're going to try to like get yourself known through TikTok, that is a very good way. But also when you start doing TikToks for whatever you're going to do, I don't know what your artwork platform is named. Like I don't know if it's Art for Teacher. Like say if it is that, you want to stick with the artwork and only being artwork, because as you might have watched my How to Gain Followers guide, you want to stick to a niche, just like you would on YouTube. Like right now, mine was gaming, but I'm moving to TikTok because that's working better. But I'm going to throw in gaming in there. Okay. So with TikTok, you want to get known first, and then start doing like, hey, this is who I am, or this is what else I do, because that's what I kind of do with TikTok now. When I go live, I'll take a funny clip or highlight from my stream and post it on TikTok, and in hopes someone comes. Sometimes people come, sometimes people don't. I mean, it's just how it works. It's just as with like viewers and creation, you got to meet more people than how many people are out the door. It's such a interesting thing. Like I don't know. I haven't cracked the code fully on getting people to come in to watch the stream. And I also haven't cracked the code on mixing my form of TikToks with my gaming yet. Okay. That's it. I don't know. Like, I don't know.
It's interesting because, I mean, as creators, we pretty much have a lot of irons in the fire that we, if you're like me, that you like to dabble and do with, and try to find that thing that we're like you were talking about. A lot of people don't realize being creative depression, where you get to this point where you're putting so much work into something and you're not seeing it come into any type of fruition that you had expected it to do. How do you overcome that?
Okay. When it came to when I was going through my depression with Code Vein, I was at that for a while, but then I realized it's not working for me. This isn't working for me. I kind of took a step back, and I still went live, but I didn't post as many YouTube videos because that's what I was expecting, was like YouTube results. And then I also realized, how about I just not worry about the numbers, and then once the numbers start coming, figure out what it was that changed, but still keep changing to see what I get numbers. Like I'm on a few Facebook pages for YouTube promotion groups, right? And I'll post up a comment or a post about like, say, hey, I made this video, come check it out, let me know what you think. And then in the comments, someone will be like, oh, here's my link. I mean, you're not supposed to do that. You're not, and you report it gets booted out, and people like to ask for sub for sub. It's like, sub for sub is not real growth. It doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't reach to any actual. You went bye-bye. Are you still there?
I'm still here. Nikki hit something, so you can keep talking.
So what happens is when you do sub for sub, it actually just doesn't. Your number grows, but you get no viewership, and that's the issue. Like, they're not going to come back and watch your stuff. Like, you want organic growth when it comes to YouTube. Now, how I got out of that was realizing just keep doing it and literally not worry about the numbers. Like, when I do TikTok, my wife's all about like, oh, I want to see growth. I want to see this. I'm just like, I'm happy with whatever. And I know I'm growing, but whatever happens, happens. But then once you find something that does work, you got to mix it up. Like, you can't, sit there and do one thing over and over and over and over again. Because if you're going to expect the same results and you're going to do the same thing, you're not going to get anything. As I was saying, when I'm in these groups, I'll have people post, hey, what can I do to improve my channel? I look, I'm like, well, one for one, it's too much of a niche. It's not for me. Yeah, you are, blood. Yeah, babe. Like, I want to be at 50K already. Anyway, damn, she comes in and makes me lose my train of thought. She's good for that one. These people will come in and start saying, hey, can you review my channel? What can I do different? And some people will say, well, why don't you try this? Or they'll be talking about like literally one thing. And I'm like, well, me personally, I'm not interested. The thumbnails catch my attention, but it's not something I would literally click on to want to view because it's not my niche. And then for those people, I say, just keep making content, but mix it up and then see what works. And then try to make more stuff with that. Like my recent video I posted, I actually got the idea from this YouTuber called The Quartering. He used to do MTG Gathering openings and video stuff. Now he does major news stuff, breaking news, or stuff that's just crazy out of nowhere, right?
Right.
And he throws in random parodies of comedies or like The Simpsons or a TV show. And that's what I tried with my recent video, and I thought it turned out great. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It brought back life to editing for me. And so by doing that, I'm like, okay. And then I checked my audience retention from that.
Mm-hmm.
The audience retention actually doubled from my last video. So it worked. I need to fine tune it so I can get more of my goal was to get go from a 50% viewership to about an 75, 85.
Okay.
Viewership or watched percentage watched.
And that is the conundrum to try and figure out how to find that balance and find that one where you're enjoying it as a creator.
Yes.
Because there's been many projects I had worked on in the past that I just did it because, well, one, it was an income, but at the end of the day, I just didn't enjoy it. And I didn't really, my heart wasn't in it. The one thing for us, and this is what Nikki had asked, because Nikki deals with depression. And so the one thing she asked, she says, I don't want this to become a career. I want it to stay a hobby. I want it to stay, but I want it to be where I could still be an artist and still share my stuff, my passion, with other people's passion. With that, trying to find that niche, do you think that in a way it could, if it did like take completely off as a, full-time career, would you go that direction, or do you still want to keep it where you enjoy it, where you won't have that? Where do you, essentially what I'm saying is, where do you want to see yourself? And then, with this,
my ideal situation is being a content creator as my career, because I do not want to be a physical labor person the rest of my life when I know I have good people skills. I'm really good at making guides. I can do technical stuff. I have many other traits I can utilize, and I like entertaining people. I like doing what I like doing, and I want to try to make that into a career. There's going to be hardships, times, and that's where you literally just take a step back, go walk to the park, take a breather, and not worry about anything. And even though as a content creator, your brain's always thinking, what can I do? What can I improve? What can I do different? What can I do this?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I've been off and I spent literally a whole day cutting and editing live reactions to all the cutscenes to Resident Evil 3 Remake. That took me a solid 8 hours just to edit it and render, and then another 2 hours to post them. So about 10 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
All that work, no views.
Oh,
and
wow.
It drives me crazy. But, and this is where I take a step back, and this is where I came to that realization. I made these 2 TikTok videos, and they took, I think in total, like 8.5 hours, 9 for 2 videos, and they already have double the views. So it's, if I were to take this route, I would find what I like doing and stick with that. I like making TikTok videos. They're very simple. They're short. And I know how to get to the point quickly. I'm not this guy like beat around the bush and then be like, oh, wait, I never actually said what I was saying, but I got you to stay. I mean,
and they're a minute long. And
yeah.
So you have to be able to catch somebody at the very beginning, 15 seconds, and then boom, to keep them for that whole duration.
Yep. And that's on TikTok, but on YouTube, your goal is to keep someone's attention for at least like 10 and a half minutes. That's the goal per like YouTube and YouTubers, to maximize like your official like payout that you can get, so you can make it into a career. That's why you'll see a lot of YouTubers. You won't see them over an hour too often. You won't see them over 20 minutes too often. They kind of cut it off after the 15-minute mark.
Yeah. The other thing too is that you also were in a band.
Yes. How did you find out about that? I'm curious.
When I started going through your stuff, and
TikTok, that one. That's right. I did do that.
Yeah. So with that, now what kind of, you're a bass player or
guitar?
Guitar.
Yes.
With that creative side, have you ever thought about doing the same type of tutorials that you do for TikTok?
No. That's a whole different like can of worms. That's like opening up that's like having tequila for breakfast. I mean, I
can always have the dog that bit you.
Yeah, okay. Teaching it, no. Picking it up to make my own, if I had the equipment, I would make my own outro / like intro, because I'm really good with ambient, laid back sound effects. I'm really good at like creating little simple stuff. But when it comes to teaching, no.
Well,
I try teaching people, people just can't grab it. Like, I can sit there and hold a guitar, and if I have one note in key to like one note in tune, I could tune the rest of the guitar without a tuner.
Okay.
And I could do it through multiple ways. And people are like, how do you do that? Well, I could actually feel the vibration, and these 2 strings aren't vibrating the way they're supposed to. They're not in sync. Okay. It's like, how you got woo, 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 woo. And like you like hit one, but then you hit another when you got that like sub tone, like woo, woo. Well, when you hit both, it's supposed to be like both solid, like like it's, I don't know. I just feel it. And I try to explain that, and people are like,
yeah, that would be me right there. Calling headlights.
Right? And then I show the other way with the tuner, they're like, and I show the other way without the tuner, they're like, it's explaining music. I understand it, but I don't know how to explain it. It's like, yes, no,
now, with TikTok and with gaming, which one would you like to see take off?
The gaming side, but at the same point, I just don't see, like, me personally, that being where I'm headed right now. I start seeing myself being like, how have you ever heard of Alpha Gaming?
Yes, I have.
Okay. He's a major influencer for streamers,
yes.
Tech equipment, and streaming advice on how to grow. Almost all his advice is right. Like, I haven't had anything that's not right, besides trying to stream on other platforms to see what works better when you're starting out. Because, like, for example, you could stream on YouTube, but then stream on Facebook, and I don't know where you're getting like 1,000 viewers, and you wouldn't have done that if you never tried it. Hence why I started trying TikTok. But that's where I wish my gaming would take off, but I honestly don't think it will. I think it will be like a thing on the side where I'll be making heavy TikTok content, heavy TikTok tutorials, guides, how-tos,
Right.
and do gaming, like as in like, here, come and ask me questions about TikTok. What's your TikTok question? If I don't know, maybe we could troubleshoot and try to figure something out. Or like, oh, that's a good one to make a guide for. I'll bring up your name in the next one if you want your name brought up. Like, and go from there. And just, that's where I see myself. I wish it would be gaming, but I'm realizing it with how diluted the gaming community is.
Mhm.
That's like trying to make it as a band right now. Like it's so hard. Like my band back then, we were playing metalcore, which is like Kill Switch Engage like type style, where it's melodic guitars, heavy guitars with screaming and singing. So with that being said, we almost got signed, but then the band people started arguing and getting in fights, and it was just like, okay, whatever, we didn't get signed. It happens. But me realizing I did okay. We go back to band. I'm like kind of like starting in the middle and going backwards. All right, with band. I started when I was 16, playing guitar. Got in a band 2 years later. People were amazed at my skill level for being self-taught. Started trying to like make, like, the goal was to like to make it my career. So I'm trying to make money with it, trying to meet people, get to know people, entertain people.
Mm-hmm.
Never worked. Did it for about 6-8 years. And I didn't get anywhere with it. So I just dropped it, and I've been working labor for the past 16 years. And I realized, you know what? I like gaming. My buddy does it for a living. Let's see if I can go do it. I didn't realize how much hard work goes into it. Like there's a ridiculous amount of work that goes into like just anything with live streaming and all that. It's really crazy.
Yeah, and that's something I'm still learning.
Mm-hmm.
Like even what you said, I didn't even think about, giving you the link and putting it out there. That's now on my bucket list of things of making sure I do.
Well, I copied what link is on the top, and I just shared it as we were
oh, thank you,
live, so that way it got out there in a way.
And it is interesting. It's like, like I know that Kato and a lot of the other guys are trying to really become Transformer reviewers.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it because I enjoy it and like it, but not that I think that it's going to ever go anywhere, because it's like everything that's a review out there. You're not the only fish. There's many fish and big sharks out there too.
Oh yeah,
yeah. But for us, the TikTok side of it, I was very surprised at the viewership that we were getting for those little stupid things I was saying, and I was like, wow, that's interesting, because there's more views there than there is on YouTube. And then when I put up I actually tested it out like you said, and I put it out also on YouTube and there, and it still didn't get the views on YouTube like it was getting on TikTok. And now that's kind of changed my whole dynamic of what direction I'm wanting to go in, because I'm still gonna let Autocrat Primer still be, on YouTube, the Transformers and stuff like that. But my TikTok, I think I'm going to go in a little bit of a different way. And in that, where can everybody find you? Since we are coming up to the 1 hour mark, tell everybody where they can find you and what they can do. I do already have some links, and Nikki is going to put more links down at the bottom.
Just type in Final Harps in Google. You'll find a ton of stuff. Like seriously, everywhere, everything's Final Harps. I'm on YouTube. Hold on, let me pull up that thing because I don't remember what all the things I'm on.
You're on you got Twitter,
I'm on YouTube, Twitch, Discord, PayPal, Moot, TikTok, and Twitter. My main things that I'm on that you can reach me at is TikTok, Discord, Twitch when I'm live. That's the only place you can contact me, because I do not look at my phone to respond to anyone if I'm live. And that's usually Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Whenever I get home, usually it's around 8 p.m. Latest I'll start, but I'm trying to start as soon as I get home just to get more in the habit of being live more. And YouTube, you give me a comment or a suggestion, I'm my phone, unless I'm live, like I said, I'm really fast about responding.
Yeah, I'm now getting used to Discord, and having to talk back between you and I, that taught me a lot quickly, because I was like, okay, that's a tool I had and I wasn't using, and that's instant. That's instant conversation.
Mm-hmm.
People, I do like that. So with that, as we're coming to the end of this, is there anything you've got that's coming up that you want to share? You got any little Easter egg type things?
Nothing really big. I am working on how to create your own OC cosplay character for TikTok, or just in general for whatever you want to use it for. TikToks will be made weekly. I will always have at least one video up a week about TikTok or something on my YouTube. And that's really all that I got going on, besides I'm finishing up, hopefully tonight, Final Fantasy VII Remake on Twitch. Excuse me. And that's really it. I mean, I do my son's been busy with the homeschool, and we've been busy with other stuff. But me and him, we do actually weekly demo races. So we pick a race or pick a game, and we race to see who beats it first. And whoever beats it first just wins. And then we give a game a little review afterwards.
Oh, I like that. That's cool. That's actually really cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that, guys, I want to say thank you so much, Final Hearts, for coming on. And
no, thank you for having me.
Oh, I appreciate it, and thank you for everything you've been teaching me and showing me. And your tutorials has been the greatest thing for me. I'm like, and Nikki's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm learning something new today." She's like, "Lord, there's miracles never cease with you, I guess."
Oh my God! But if like there's nothing in my playlist of and TikTok away, just hit up one of my comments and be like, "Hey, can you help me with this or that?" I mean, I'll probably directly contact you and help you, but I will probably make a guide for that too, because if you're asking, someone else is asking.
Gotcha. I'll definitely do that then.
Definitely. And that's it for anyone in chat too. Yeah, definitely. And thank you for that Kato's collection.
Oh yeah. Hey Kato. Oh, thank you. I wasn't looking at the comments for a second. Hey Kato, how you doing? Just yes. And with that, guys, that is the end of the podcast.
Yes.
And as I always say, like my grandfather always told me, hold on to something from your youth, and you'll never grow old. Look to the stars, grab one for yourself, and y'all have a great one. You want to say anything before we go out? Because we got that long little hole.
Well, this is YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Well, everyone, have a good time. Keep on TikToking, and peace.
And now we have that